School Action Plan draft public hearing. My name is Peter Miller. I am the Director of Community Development for the City of Westfield. And as part of our CDBG program through the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, we are required to provide a draft action plan public hearing for the general public to comment on prior to our submission to HUD, which will happen in early May. This is relative to the July 1st program year, and we have put together a plan that we think will assist us in meeting our goals to make Westfield a more livable community for those of low and moderate income in those neighborhoods, and to serve people of low and moderate income in their special needs that they have. So the goals of the program are to, as I said, make for livable communities, make for improvements to housing and improvements to neighborhoods that are of low and moderate income. Eligible activities are generally things that will serve low and moderate income people. Most of what you would think of is our public services programs. Those are serving to a specific populations, to specific people. Some of the programs that we've funded in the past include assisting the Samaritan and Homeless Shelter with some of their counseling services, providing camp scholarships to the Boys and Girls Club for their summer program, assistance to the Westfield Food Pantry for their meals program, among other things. This year we received several applications, and it was again a competitive round of funding. We are generally a community of about 43% of our population is of low and moderate income. So we do not qualify for citywide expenditure of funds, but targeted neighborhoods are eligible to receive Community Development Block Grant Program funding. So each of these, and I apologize, my PDF didn't carry over all of the graphics that I had on my PowerPoint that I had presented, so I'm trying to do this by memory a little bit. But national objective is one of the two primary tenets of the Community Development Block Grant Program. Number one is obviously the activity must be eligible, but second is that activity must meet what's called a national objective through the National Community Development Act, which was passed in 1970. Among those, so you can reach that national objective in a number of different ways. Most of our programs are what we call low moderate income limited clientele. So there's specific services to individuals or households. It's the camp scholarships or assistance to the adult basic ed programs or things along those lines. We can also reach that low moderate threshold through the national objective through low moderate housing benefit or through low moderate area benefit. And those are really the primary places that we have spent our money. We also do some with what are called the low moderate jobs national objective, where jobs are created for people who are of low or moderate income. So our funding allocation this year, we have approximately $500,000 to fund. And again, this is another chart that didn't come through, but we have about $370,000 that was programmed to us through HUD for the fiscal 21 program year. We also have $130,000 that we are carrying over from the 2020 season. We have that money available because we were unable to get to the finish line on a couple of projects last year that would have expended that money. And that is, and we actually identified additional local funds to do those projects. The project we had identified was the repair of the playground or the parking lot at the Cross Street Playground on the site of the former Ashley Street School. We are using general fund monies to accomplish that project. So we have, and then additionally, we have about $10,000 each year that we receive in program income. So that gives us about $510,000 to program each year. And of that money, 15% of it, or somewhere in the neighborhood of about $55,000, is allowed to be spent on what are called public services programs, where we are providing direct service through partner organizations to provide assistance to low and moderate income families. An additional 20% is actually through our planning administration line item that primarily that pays for the salaries of the employees who work on the program. That's the primary use of it. And this year, because we're not using all of that allocation on salaries, we will be allocating a portion of it, approximately $30,000, to doing an update of our what's called our transition plan for disability access to municipal buildings. So we're going to do an assessment as to where we fall short and what we've accomplished to make Westfield compliant with Section 504 of the United States Code relative to architectural access and handicap access to public properties. The remaining 65% of our funding goes to a number of different things, and on upcoming slides, I'll show you exactly how we plan to spend our money in 2021. So this is our run through of our public services program this year. The chart above tells us what we provided for the program in 2020, what we are proposing to provide for the program in 2021, and what the agency had requested in 2021. As you can see, we received about $100,000 worth of applications for $54,000 worth of funding that we have available. We did our best to level fund each of the programs that had applied in the past. We do have 2 programs that did not make application this year. So instead of 11, we have 9, I believe, this year. But among those, you can see the Boys and Girls Club will use $8,000 to assist 100 children and families with their summer camp. The Camp for Kids, similarly, will provide $4,800 to the Camp for Kids for 9 camperships, scholarships, and those are partials for youngsters who can take advantage of their services that are of low or moderate income. The Domus HiSET program is, again, a longstanding grantee that we've had. They are looking at, or we would give them $8,000 in 2021 to provide training for HiSET certificates. So it's what used to be the GED program. It's HiSET training, a new way to get your high school equivalency. Again, the Samaritan Inn on Free Street, we will be providing $9,000 for their day center, which is their counseling program. Food pantry, $4,500 for food pantry services. Meals on Wheels, $5,500. That's for home delivered meals to seniors. Companionship program for the Council on Aging. This allows for the Council on Aging to have volunteers who do shopping and in general chores for homebound people to help keep them at home. That's a good program that's been around for a little while. The YWCA New Beginnings program is for domestic violence survivors advocacy and counseling services. It was identified as a need in our community to assist families who have experienced domestic violence. And then lastly is the Mental Health Association has a transition program from homeless for homeless individuals into transitioning into a livable environment. This program will allow them to provide services to 7 individuals at the Leahy House. One of the things that I like to try to focus on is the number of beneficiaries. So we're looking at 830 beneficiaries. this year, and I think that that's a pretty substantial number for the amount of money that we're providing to the program. And we break it down on a per beneficiary basis. Some programs are a little bit more intensive than others, but it's something that we think is important to understand how we're expending that money. So that's the public services side. The other priority projects that we have, as I talked about, are in some of the different national objectives. So we are looking to continue our business assistance program in 2020 and with 2019 CARES Act funds. We spent about $280,000 in assisting businesses. We assisted 35 businesses over the course of the past year and a half, or about actually the past year through the COVID pandemic, and we were able to help provide some operational assistance to keep businesses afloat when customers during the lockdown, and when customers were unable to visit their facilities. So we're looking to do that again this year. Generally, our application, we limit our grants to $10,000. So we're hoping to provide somewhere between 8 and 10 grants this year to businesses to assist with that. And what the businesses have to do is to either the owner is qualified as a low or moderate income individual as identified by HUD guidelines, or they are required to create or retain jobs that would otherwise be lost for people of low or moderate income. And that's the carrot or stick approach that we have with the economic development program. Next, in our neighborhood revitalization outcome category, we are proposing to assist the Westfield Housing Authority with the resurfacing of Casper Drive. This is a project that we had anticipated trying to do last year, but once we got into it, the cost was substantially higher than we anticipated. We will be working with the city's engineering department and the purchasing agent to put out a on-call bid contract for paving services, and we'll have all of the federal requirements set forth for expenditure of federal funds on road project construction. So that's an exciting project that we're looking forward to getting done. Two other ones that are exciting for us, and I wish we had the ability to provide them with additional funds, but our budget being what it is, we reached these numbers as our final allocations, our proposed allocations anyway. The Boys and Girls Club preschool expansion project, which you may have seen some pictures of online. They are in the middle of making a substantial addition to the building. This $30,000 will assist the club with furnishings for that facility, desks and chairs and all sorts of things that are required to run a larger preschool program. And again, this is a program that this funding is being provided because they serve greater than 50% of the individuals that they serve are of low or moderate income. So we're pleased to be able to provide them with $30,000 this year. Next is another exciting project, the food pantry. The Greater Westfield Food Pantry, Emergency Food Pantry Program has proposed the establishment of a commercial kitchen at a facility on School Street. They have a substantial build-out budget, and what this kitchen is supposed to do, or is proposed to do, is supplement and service the food truck that they made an announcement that they have that will be going around to serve the food pantry population, the people who are using the food pantry. So we are able to provide them with about $15,000 to again for equipment for that program. And lastly, the city has for the past 5 years worked with the Pioneer Valley Planning Commission on what we're calling our Westfield Housing Improvement Program, the WIP program. Last year, we were only able to fund it at about $25,000. This year, we are looking to get back to an allocation of $80,000 for the program. We are hopeful that we will be able to assist 6 or 7 households that are qualifying with deferred payment loans to make improvements to their homes. This is for homeowners who are of low or moderate income and have some issues, whether it be leaky roofs or furnaces that are reached the end of their life, or making code improvements to their homes. So we are looking to provide $80,000 to assist, like I said, 6 to 8 homeowners with making those improvements. So that is really the gist of our draft action plan for the July 1st, 2021 through June 30th, 2022 program year. The site, and again, another one of my graphics that got cut off here, the plan is available on the cityofwestfield.org website. If you navigate to the Community Development Department, there is a drop down for the Community Development Block Grant Program. And in our documents page, there is a link to the 2021 action plan. You can read the 30 plus pages of prose that are written relative to the program, and provide any comment that you deem necessary or interesting, or any changes that you would propose to the allocations. We would be required to receive those comments by April 30th, 2021, 5:00 p.m. in the City of Westfield Community Development Office. Our office address is 59 Court Street, Westfield, Massachusetts, 01085. You can also reach me by email at p.miller@cityofwestfield.org or by phone at 413-572-6246. If there is anything else, if there's anybody online that is looking to provide live comment, I'll open up for the next minute to see if that is out there. Seeing nobody on the line, I will declare this public hearing closed and look forward to hearing any comments that the public may have. Thank you for tuning in tonight, and talk to you soon.